So hi guys, we have Professor Karthick Athmanathan from IIT Madras. It's a pleasure meeting you. So in your session and also during your presentation, you gave a gist on what IIT Madras does and how is it contributing in the electric mobility space. I would like you to brief us on it and let the audience know how IIT Madras is contributing the
Uh, we have two angles to what we are doing. One is what are we doing in the generic e-mobility space, and the other part is specifically for zero emission trucking. So let us say heavy commercial vehicles, because of late there have been quite a few people who've been coming to us for buses as well. So heavy commercial vehicles and e-mobility in general. Work that we do in e-mobility in general is limited to the usual academic work. So it's a lot of skill. We offer courses. We offer courses for undergraduates. We have postgraduate courses, dual degree programs. We also have special web-enabled MTech programs, etc. So this is in the area of e-mobility, in skilling. We also offer extremely popular working professional courses in various domains in mobility. So whether it's motors or batteries or controllers or power electronics or package engineering, everything. So, the other part in academic work that we do is the research work. As you know, in e-mobility, generally the startup community has been much farther ahead than academia or the larger OEMs in R&D work. So IIT Madras started this e-mobility initiative in the department. My department is the Department of Engineering Design. So we were made the nodal department for this. We started this way back in 2022. So there are some research projects which are happening across EV domains, some really excellent work in various departments, various labs, etc. So that's the e-mobility part. In trucking and buses, we realized that it wasn't enough to just play our usual orthodox role in skilling and R&D. So we created a center of excellence with a lot of support from philanthropy. That center works on a lot of areas, 6 different areas. So we work on skilling, we work on public safety and related safety areas. We work on outreach where we go all the way to drivers, operators, pump operators, so that they are aware of what's happening. We are working on policy, we are working on technical projects, and there's significant work happening, but across all these areas. So the Center of Excellence for Zero Emission Trucking focuses entirely on heavy commercial vehicle electrification, and most of the work has been on the policy front, because the government took it up hardly a year and a half, 2 years ago. We've been working with them for a long time. It's good to see that the government is now stepping in.
Great. And is there a reason why you chose heavy commercial vehicles to start with? To set up a R&D facility or build a course around it. Is there a specific reason why you chose this segment?
Yeah.
This form factor?
See, 2 reasons, equally important. One, I don't know if you're aware, but if you burn 100 liters of fuel today in India, which is all imported, almost all is imported, in a transport vehicle, 40 liters go just for heavy vehicles. So it is the biggest impact making. So if we electrified in the national interest, it made sense to actually electrify trucks. So that's why we went for that one reason. The second reason was equally good. It is also the most difficult sector to electrify. There are a lot of complications. It's a backbone of the Indian economy. So you have to be careful about the transition that you do. You cannot be, you can't afford to make mistakes. While in private passenger, a few mistakes and course corrections are okay. It's not going to upset things too much. But if you do that in trucks and buses, public will be very badly affected. So there was a need for a all-rounded approach to heavy vehicle electrification. So because of these two reasons, we said that we should be working on this.
It is for sure the backbone of the complete mobility ecosystem in India. And it is again a very difficult segment to be in. An organization like IIT Madras can, let's say, afford to be here and eventually contribute in the mobility ecosystem. And skill set obviously is a big challenge in the complete EV space when it comes to skill set to manufacture the vehicle or service the vehicle itself. So, but when it comes to organizations like IIT, the kind of, let's say, manpower or the skill that comes out of IIT, they are the leadership cadre, right? They either build companies or, build a complete industry, or, that's where they fall. They do not fall in the service ecosystem. So, is there? Do you think this initiative can eventually, in let's say 6, 7 years, 8 years down the line, can help the complete service infrastructure to also get better and better? What is your take?
Yeah, and without covering that, there is really no point, right? So, leadership material usually they are general management people with generic analytical and quantum skills. So we're not talking about the JEE, IIT, BTech students. Those are a category of students who very rarely have visible impact on the day-to-day technical work. So there's a very silent majority in our institutes, and those are the postgraduates and PhDs. These are the ones who need to be nurtured and who are contributing on an hourly basis in the ecosystem. The other community who need skilling are people inside companies. So our delivery into the companies is one through these courses. The courses we conduct for the working professionals, very effective, very popular, but most important, I think, very effective. I think the impact has been visible. But there's another way you impart skills, like how do you impart costing skills into a company? Very few of them actually have new initiative costing department. There's no such department. So the regular costing guys will be doing the pricing for procurement or pricing for sale. That's where they will do. So new initiatives typically need skills, and so we deliver that through either consulting programs where we show them how it is done. Apart from that, we conduct a lot of events across the country, and we partner others for this. People like WRI, RMI, Smart Trade Center, SSC, ICCT. So these are NGOs, and we partner them. And I think right now the capacity building for the Institute of Cost Accountants, I think it's called Management Accountant, something like that now. And the skilling for state bank people. So all this is being done by CoEZET in partnership with an NGO, in this case WRI, and then they deliver the content there. So the idea is to strengthen everyone's capabilities across domains, so that we are familiar and we are happy to look at the electric option in heavy vehicles.
That's really interesting, because if let's say tech and finance go together hand in hand, I think the decision making in procurement or in working on a financial model or business model for a tech-driven company, it becomes more easy to deploy and give effective results.
Yeah, and the very decision to move from diesel to electric requires significant costing skills. You have to do the costing and the business case for your specific duty cycle, your specific business, the kind of time that you get, the kind of time that you don't get, all this is important. So EV migration is going to be driven by financial skills. Similarly, how do I finance this? Because your capital cost is so high, because revenue cost is so low, it still makes sense. But the approach of the cost accountant has to be accordingly retrained. So it's,
Right. And as you are aware that this industry is majorly driven by young entrepreneurs. And even big players are betting on these young entrepreneurs. They're acquiring them, investing on them. And the young entrepreneurs are putting that money in R&D, technology, as we discussed in the session. They are building their own IPs, investing on getting the IPs for their innovation. So, is this one of the biggest reasons why, let's say, IIT Madras is getting into this segment specifically and building an incubation center also, if I'm not wrong, and research labs, because now the investment from the industry is also moving towards R&D, right? And there are a lot of startups in this space, so that's why it makes logical sense for you to be a part of the participate as an incubator.
see, this is more true for the first part I told you. So e-mobility in general, our research park, I think the current valuation is some 55,000 crores or something like that. It's a very successful research park with a good incubation center. The e-mobility skilling work is contributing to that ecosystem. So, but if you look at heavy commercial vehicles, as on date, with the exception of probably ITLT, which has now once again moved into the TI group, all the others have been started by existing big businesses, not necessarily truck OEMs or bus OEMs, but they are all big businesses who have started this as a new business. So the commercial vehicle sector, especially the big vehicles, has not seen the entrepreneurs at the OEM level, with the exception of, I think, IPLT. I'm not able to think of anyone else. The others might be there here and there, but they are not yet large players. So the IIT ecosystem is it doesn't have the need to mentor young minds for the heavy vehicles part. But overall e-mobility, there are a lot of startups, as you say, and it makes sense for IIT to keep pushing this so that more and more talent gets into this area, and we get the benefit of far superior speeds, superior application of technology, and in some cases superior generation of technology. So I think overall e-mobility, two-wheeler, three-wheeler, there are quite a few. For cars and heavy vehicles, their role will be more in the tier 1 and tier 2 levels as suppliers. So they generate capabilities, but not for the full product vehicle, but for one part of the vehicle as part of the EV ecosystem.
And since you mentioned about the tier 2 suppliers, which are rather this concept is seen a lot in the current automotive ecosystem, which is ICE driven. But do you think the tiers are somewhere getting diluted in the e-mobility space, because now the component player with the all the whole supply chain is now directly selling it to the OEMs, because that is what is happening. So do you think this concept of having tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 suppliers is somewhere diminishing in the e-mobility space? What is your observation?
See, there are two things to this, right? So one is, which phase of a new technology's evolution are you catching it? And the second, do the fundamentals of supply chain decisions, do they change? Basically, the fundamentals of supply chain do not change. It's about cost, it's about value, it's about technology, and it's about quality control. That's what supply chain
And
is.
availability.
Yeah. So
Time to
yeah, and that gets included in the supply chain, right? The logistics part. So the fundamentals of supply chain never change. They are the same. There might be more new tools coming, but the basic business basics are always the same. whether it is washing machines or trucks or cars or two-wheelers, it's still the same. The logic is the same. But if you catch any technology which has come in new, there are two things that can happen, right? One is, oh, there's nobody to do it, so I have to do everything myself. So I become more vertically integrated. So this is one thing. One classic example is Tesla, where they had extremely ambitious goals, and they couldn't find people, including people like Panasonic and LG. Uh, the, those people couldn't cope with what Tesla demanded. So Tesla said that, listen, I'm doing it myself. I know how it is done, so I'm going to do it myself. So I don't know if you drove the early Teslas. They were gadgets. They were really not cars at that time. The ride quality, the handling, etc., is nowhere near a regular international car. The trim quality was also, it wasn't there. But today it's absolutely there, right? So that's one driving factor in the initial stages. The other one in initial stages is companies like orthodox companies like, let's say, Tata Motors, Ashok Leyland, where you don't know how certain things are done, but you don't want to lose the market share and the business there. So there you are compelled to rely with suppliers who have the tech and who have the capability. They might be from India, they might be from abroad. That's a separate topic altogether. But essentially it's outside your company and it's outside your profit and loss account. But if you see any Leyland or Tata Motors, when the volumes go beyond a point, the fundamental supply chain decisions will come in again. And at that time, if necessary, they'll build the team, they'll build the facility, they'll build the capability, and they will start because it makes money sense. But as of today, it makes money sense and market sense to partner. But as things go forward, my personal guess is high-value products like the battery pack will not be allowed outside the company. They will want it in their P&L. The other one will be high-impact aggregates like motors and controllers, because a small tweak can give you a 2-3% advantage. It's likely to move in-house after they have built the competence and the numbers. So the supply chain structure that you see today is unlikely to last after EV penetration has crossed about 20-25%. When at that point, the OEMs will start looking at the profit and loss account and see that there's too much value being left outside, and therefore their margins are getting affected. So they have to bring it in. This is what I expected.
That's a very beautiful insight. I think the overall supply chain, the way it used to work, will have a different way of functioning in the coming future.
Absolutely.
Anything that you would like to share before we end this interview?
Well, if this video is going out to truck operators, please start looking at and evaluating electrification of trucks. The technology is mature. It's very, very mature. The costing, as of today, if you are transporting goods in a rigid multi-axle vehicle and you are burning 20-22 lakhs rupees of diesel per annum, you already have a business case even without subsidy. So if you're burning only 12 lakhs or 14 lakhs of diesel per year, don't waste your time. The business case is not there. But if it's 20-22 lakhs, you will have some other reason for not electrifying, not money, because the profits will be higher with electrification. If you are spending 20-22 lakhs rupees worth of diesel per truck per annum. So I hope more and more truck owners start looking at electrification of their fleet as a financially viable option. I think apart from that, congratulations on a very nice event. And it was good to be part of this event.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure meeting you, and thanks for your time.
My pleasure.